All right, all right. For me here, the success scholar, doing the thing, doing the work, ready to go to another level. That's right. Just want to give everybody a little quick chance. Chime in here, but I wanted to talk about this. Where is he? Claude Anderson, and conversation was Dr. Claude Anderson deconstructed. uh, and what I wanted to suggest and offer and encourage, first and foremost, if you haven't read Powernomics, I think it's a very well researched analysis, and it covers several different spheres and fields, including education, economics, and history and politics as well. So I think that it touches on many great things, and I think it's a good core reference for thinkers, readers, scholars to have. So I wanted to inquire. Thank you, Brother Mike. I wanted to inquire or offer that Miss Carnell's positions um, that she offered. I just wanted that she fully read the full book. That's what I'll ask first and foremost. Did she read the full chapters of Dr. Anderson's book? Because he does certainly discuss the role of economics, but I'll get into some of her ideas or what she actually went in to say. For those who may not know, I've promoted the work of Dr. Claude Anderson over the years in different spaces. And, actually, I got some of the mayoral candidates in Baltimore to actually get the book. Now, I didn't go back and you know make them read it, make sure they read it. I mean, these people, they have what they perceive as their education. Uh, they have what they perceive as their ideas of what you know how to make things better. So I don't necessarily rely on their interpretations of anything, but you kind of listen to what they have to say, and you kind of get out there and you synergize with people. But so Yvette Carnell's thing was that Dr. Claude Anderson shouldn't be fooling with Dr. Boyce Watkins, or he shouldn't, he should be kind of like on her side. And my thing is, this is the glue, Miss Cornell, is that you don't position yourself to where Dr. Claude Anderson would even know you, right? Have you actually asked him to join you on your show? Or are you just kind of venting because he's connected to Dr. Boyce Watkins now, and you don't feel that they have anything in common? Actually, I think many of you all have some of the same things in common, and I'm gonna try to explain that because I think that many of you, although I respect your theories that many of you have, your implementation, and your organizational strategy, it's very limited. Now, I have a copy of this book, and I hope many of you would read it. This is Ron Walters and the Fight for Black Power. It would have been nice if Miss Cornell was aware of this and several others, but for those who may not know, this brother, elder, was instrumental in many of the movements during the 60s and 70s from the various nationalists, the conferences, the major conferences, working with SNCC and working with uh, several different organizations, as well as several different campaigns, political campaigns a little later in the 80s and the 90s, several different mayors. I mean, anywhere from, organizing major conferences. He's always had a type of pragmatic uh, black nationalist sort of a way of perceiving the world and positioning himself and to develop a solid theory. Now, and he's worked with all different organizations, SCLC, SNCC, Core Congress of Racial Equality. I mean, different organizations. I don't want to quote all of them, but Republic of New Africa, and Cobra. He's been a strong proponent of reparations. And recently, this book just came out, so I'm not, saying that everyone should have a copy of it or be aware, but you certainly should be aware of the work of Ron Walters. He did a piece on Black presidential politics, and his recent book was well, not recent, but Conservative Public Policy and Black Interests. Um, so those are some of the key books that I was aware of him that I actually read. And so this one is giving me some key insights that I believe are valuable for our community. Now, Miss Carnell, Miss Carnell, she says that Dr. Claude Anderson is a failure in business, right? And or something to the effect that he's not a millionaire. And this is the type of mentality, I think that unfortunately many people who who have a poverty consciousness, they just assume that everyone needs to be a millionaire, or they uh, that's like some rail of what you would call success or making it in business. But what's real is that who's to say where someone need to be? I mean, Dr. Claude Anderson certainly has sold. Uh, I'm care to guess. Certainly a few tens of thousands at least copies of his book. And maybe even over 100,000 copies of his book. So it's not too far fetched to say that he could be a billionaire. It doesn't take uh, you know, if you sell, let's see, 10,000 products, 10,000 products at $25 to, no, 10,000 people selling $25 products and having four products, that's $1 million. So that's just, numbers calculated. That's one of the little formulas that I remembered. And there's several formulas that you can look at now. Let's just assume that Dr. Claude Anderson sold a little bit more than 10,000 books. I mean, now, granted, uh, there could have been other things that, people spend their money on. Who's to say? College and, various health and, other investments. So, who's to say what people do with their money once they actually get it? But let's not like try to say that being a millionaire is something that in depth to the degree that we feel uh, that we should feel that he should have reached that particular level. So, so then there was a conversation about doing a video. Get your back. Mm. So with Dr. Anderson and the seafood facility now, I went and visited his seafood facility when he built it several years ago in Maryland. But what's the name came up? Oh man, with the 10,001, I am one in a million. Blah 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 blah. Man, he came up there. But anyway, it'll come back to me. Him and Brother Klingman. Klingman didn't come to that, but I went and visited Detroit when Dr. Claude Anson had to bring back the black movement in the rally some years ago in Detroit, right? And I got the whole plan and the strategy of what they were planning to do, trying to do in Detroit. They had copies available. You could purchase them for like $10. And I purchased that copy and I brought it back to, and I gave my copy away to this brother, a social, I don't know what he is, but he ain't do nothing with it. He didn't try to have no meetings with it. He's supposed to have been connected to the so-called black intelligentsia, but he's supposed to have been a progressive, and he did nothing with it. And that's what made me realize, stop giving people your power. Stop believing that somebody can implement a plan better than you. So with that being said, with that being said, I just want to share that I don't know where if Yvette Carnell has read Dr. Claude's book, but just judging from what she said, okay, so he had a problem with the business and didn't you know and I don't know what the law firm said or with the thing with Harvard Bank. I mean, things happen, but are you going to say he's? I mean, she called him a failure. I'm like, damn, you just like angry with him, but you gonna pump up this Doherty. If you wanna read somebody about what we need to do, we need to listen to Doherty. And Doherty, is he organizing any damn lobbying efforts? I mean, maybe he is. But let me ask you, is he taking you or Antonio Moore? Are y'all going to Congress lobbying? Are you creating a movement? Are you actually, do you come to the Congressional Black Caucus? Are you walking the halls of the Senate, or are you walking the halls of Congress at any time? Right? I'm just curious. I mean, I'm just curious. Is this Doherty starting a movement? Is he starting a political party? Is he, he with the Green Party? What is, the theories? And we're going to create a think tank. I mean, there's plenty liberal think tanks in D.C., right? But the question is, what are you saying different, right? What are you doing different? Dr. Claude Anson laid out some things in the back of the Powernomics book, about, politically speaking. So the question is, can you organize to implement, right? Are you even considering organizing to implement? And I just wonder, like, okay, I mean, are you supporting? You don't go to Congressional Black Caucus, and Dr. Boyce Watkins, he doesn't go to the Congressional Black Caucus. Matter of fact, he had a conference right around the same time. And so I don't understand that. But I've been to the Congressional Black Caucus over the past 6, 7, 8 years, and it's not just for the political discussions. It wasn't just for the get out and vote. You know, uh, but I've gone to link up with different people who they may not know what Dr. Claude Anderson. They may not, but they don't hear him on Al Sharpton show. And that's the thing. These gatekeepers like Al Sharpton, are keeping people away from certain things. Like, for instance, last weekend, we had the 10,000 Black Men March. Several prominent thinkers and builders were present. Based Attorney Malik Shabazz, Boyce Watkins was there. I myself spoke, the daughter of Malcolm X, Dr. Cornell West. So there was a good mixture of different thinkers, organizers, and builders present. Now, my question is that did Yvette Carnell, and this is the opportunity you wanted to come, you wanted to organize and with DC, and we gotta create the policy. We gotta create the policy. Well, this was an opportunity to have some operational unity in DC. I mean, outside of that, you're just a YouTube communicator, right? Just a YouTube talker. Now, my next question is, are you organizing any grassroots campaigns? Do you have feet on the ground in your local area? Are you influencing any local policy initiatives? Are you getting signatures for anything locally? So I'm just like, okay, so if you don't show up, if you're not reporting, on the movement that you're doing, knocking on doors, putting up signs supporting local candidates, why are you saying that Dr. Claud Anderson, he said something about buying a candidate? We too poor. We too poor. We can't afford no Senate or no congressman. Okay, well, support a local council person, right? Are you organizing your people? Are you? That's the question. Are you organizing your people to support local candidates? That's the question. Or are you running for office yourself? Right? Are you running for a council seat or alderman? Are you running for mayor? Are you running for state delegate or state senate? Are you showing up at your legislative caucuses? Or some things within, and I don't know, maybe you're not feeling the Democratic Party, but the reality is that, either you're going to create your own party, you're going to roll with the Greens, or you're going to roll with the Libertarians, or you're going to, be, somebody say, I'm a roll with the Republicans, like one of these little crazy people in Baltimore. It I think he just bought and paid. I just think he just bought and paid. Talk about activists. This one that's running for sheriff in Baltimore as a Republican. I mean, it's like give him a little couple of dollars and tell him to run for office, and Negro will run. Confused, the masses sound angry, sound sound like you upset with the system and run as a Republican. What a way to confuse the people. So that's all I wanted to say, man. I just had those questions in my mind because it's like, okay, so you're against making money. You don't want nobody to make money. Don't talk about making money. Don't think about making money. Uh, push the and here's the thing. This is what I know. I mean, and I've read the Black Wealth, White Wealth book. There's two books for those who may not know. There's a Black Wealth, White Wealth, and then there's Black Labor, White Wealth, by some of the people that Yvette Carnell looks up to and respect. So I do understand, and I'm very engaged to a level with various officials to understand that there certainly can be various types of policy initiatives that could be empowering for the community. So I'm not like totally someone like Dr. Boyce who may not be as well understood on the depth of how real wealth, I mean, has been given through various types of public policy initiatives. And you all can go out and get the book, How White Folks Got So Rich. Yvette Carnell, she certainly should have mentioned that book to you, but that talk about, how government actually has given through GI bills and Homestead Acts and, all types of land uh, tax incentives, redlining and, gerrymandering. So all of these things actually have truly influenced, the wealth disparities. I'm not doubting that, but my question is, who is going to truly organize? And my thing that I'm studying and positioning myself within the DMV is, you gotta holler at the success scholar. I'm running actually for a local central committee in the city of Baltimore. Uh, I believe sincerely, and I'm done. I'm done with playing games, man. I'm like, look, if the community members, not able to adjust their wisdom and understand, and yes, I can reach out and teach, but you got some crazies out here, that that really they against the system. They tell ignorant black people every week on the radio, I ain't voting. You ain't gonna get nothing from voting. And you got people, edifying these so-called elders actually listening to these Negroes, but then you want to have meetings talking about six diaspora Africa meeting, talking about the six, yeah, talking about you region six of the African Union, but you don't want to talk about voting, or you want to uphold these crazy Negroes. See, some of these elders, man, they ain't organizing. They not gonna build no wealth. They're not gonna network, and I think that that's the glue for many of Dr. Claude's and Boyce Watkins and Yvette Carnell, that you all need to network. You need to network more. And Yvette Carnell, she would know Dr. Claude because she would show up at some events and not just be on YouTube ranting and raving, trying to get followers, trying to get donations. But you're gonna have to get up off of YouTube and get in your community as well, and come to the people saying, "Look, this is the candidate we need to support. This is what we need. How much money? Or we don't have no money, but we gonna get some policy done. We don't have no money, but we gonna get some policy done. It ain't gonna happen by osmosis. Let me just let you know, it ain't gonna happen by you being on YouTube. Somebody got to sign. Somebody got to be in a position of power. And if you are not positioned in any real, true, tangible power, I'm just, it ain't much to talk about. So if you're not supporting, the Success Scholar Initiative, me running for office in Maryland, in Baltimore, and then you're talking about we can't build no wealth, we can't make money, and this is where I had to step out, because many people actually believe this stuff. They just run around and here's the thing. I know that serious people that go to things like the Congressional Black Caucus, they lie. I mean, they know the systematic pecking order. There's a book out by one of the former black congressmen called the Peacock Elite. Owens, I think his name, Peacock Elite, and it talks about the little Negro pecking order that they have in DC amongst the black congressional caucus, and how many of them just act like peacocks because they need to get attention. And so my thing is, again, if all of these YouTube people would, converge on the Congressional Black Caucus one of these times, or support local candidates, at least if you don't, as Yvette Carnell, we can't afford to buy no congressman. What Dr. Claude Anderson talking about? He talking about buy or rent something, but we don't have no money. But you're not doing anything, you're not lobbying, you're not asking, you're not, doing anything locally, right? So there's a contradiction. Are you doing anything on the state level where maybe, some states have more potential for power? Some states, blacks, if not the majority, they are close enough to being a majority in some states. Some have large voting power at the state delegate or state senator level. So I'm just like, I mean, this YouTube stuff gonna have to cease for real tangible action, real tangible initiatives, real tangible support. At least all three of you, Watkins, Carter, I'm sorry, Yvette Carnell, and Dr. Claude, instead of just going on radio, hiding out, they should have at least come to the Congressional Black Caucus. Hell, and here's the thing: if you serious about organizing, you gonna show up where the people are. You know, put your message out compared to theirs. Organize some, a committee, a PAC, political action committee, right? I mean, outside of that, you playing political games, writing books and getting YouTube views. And I'm not trying to sound like some Democratic Party Negro that just gonna go and tell people, yeah, you gotta vote Democrat, vote, 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 vote. I'm saying that you gotta study the power dynamics. And this is where, you know, uh, Ron Walters was developing. And, and it would be sad that many people don't even know his contribution in the area of politics. But then, and we can't discredit people that have a business, right? We cannot discredit people that are trying to create cash flow for themselves. Some people got to eat. Not everybody can go to Howard University and get free money. Not everybody can go to Howard and get free money. So, so I'm just saying that we need to stay connected, stay building, stay organizing, keep organizing, and go to another level. But for those that want to support our campaign, definitely holler at the Success Scholar running in Baltimore for the Democratic Central Committee. And for those that just want to support the Success Scholar, my book, or some of the videos that I have, go to my website, successscholarhaki.com, successscholarhaki.com, and or go, well, first follow me on Instagram, Success Scholar, and on Twitter, Success Scholar 1. That's Success Scholar 1 on Twitter. So that's all I have, man. Let me get out here and make some calls, make some more money, and go to another level. So I'm out, y'all. Peace and blessings.